きてり込む手がふらる閉じにはやらせんでエレキキの酒この尻時のこれてモレジティの魂で明日の君開けノクシェスはのエリだけ進め嘘ましめりもそれなり守りたい世界いやこうてて吠えてゆけ金がされも言わずつか燃える心は地もしょな近いコントロールすげて回るような
The four of us talked about this and came to a conclusion that will benefit us all, and that is that all of you for 3 years will be trained by Whis. He ended looking at the angel while the others were surprised, since months ago on his visit they found out that he was the teacher of Myo and Goku. In these 3 years I will make them improve incredibly so that they can protect the planet against any threat, said the angel with a smile. Perfect, this way I can surpass Kakarot and prove that I am the #1 scion. Thought Vegeta with a huge smile on his face. And he wasn't the only one feeling that way, the others were also very happy to be trained by the teacher of the goddess of destruction. Let's continue at my house, guys, I prepared a room for the kids so we can talk in more detail, said Bulma while walking toward the ship. You're right, I was lucky to get them to sleep before coming so that bastard cold wouldn't wake them up, said Myo with a bit of annoyance while following Bulma. And slowly everyone got on the ship to go to Bulma's house. 2 days later, the goddess of destruction, Myo, was in the dining room having coffee with milk, something she had tried the day before at Bulma's house and liked. A few minutes later, the sound of the door was heard. Could it be Whis? Wondered the young goddess as she put the god pad on the table and went to answer. And when she opened the door, Mother, she exclaimed in surprise, Mule. Diana also exclaimed upon seeing her daughter, who looked quite different from the last time. With a huge smile, she gave her daughter a big hug. That look looks good on you, daughter, her mother told her with a smile before kissing her forehead and then moving on to the house. Myo smiled softly at her mother's compliment as she closed the door and went to attend to her mother. Do you want something to drink? I asked him while looking at him. Well yes, something cold please, replied the leader of Mirai's royal guard. Seeing her daughter go to the kitchen she looked everywhere. And Goku? And babies? He asked curiously. Myo came back with a soft drink and gave it to her mother. Goku went to buy some things I ordered and the babies are sleeping, she replied to her mother as she sat next to her. Diana left the can of soda on the table and then looked at her daughter. He, a small laugh came out unintentionally. Why are you laughing? Myo asked her, raising an eyebrow. You already look like a dear wife, you are missing the housewife's apron short hair and change of look, even, she was saying as she began to touch Myo's breasts. And mother. What are you doing? He said with a blush. They have grown you a lot, I thought you would not go beyond the B cup, but I was wrong, they have grown you up to the C cup, congratulations daughter. Diana congratulated her daughter with a slight smile as she stopped touching her daughter's breasts. Well, was it to be expected that they would grow or not? You are cup D and I also did this look to me to reach this stage of my life, Myo replied before lying on her mother's lap. Diana smiled at her daughter's action and instantly began to stroke her hair, making Myo start to close her eyes. I am very proud of you, my little one. My only regret was not being with you all this time, she said in a low voice with a nostalgic look. Mother, whispered Myo, who had fallen asleep with a slight smile. Diana continued stroking her daughter's hair for several minutes, during which her eyes had changed to a completely violet color with white stars, looking like outer space. Apparently being apart for this time was the best option, she whispered as a tear rolled down her cheek and her eyes returned to normal, then she closed them and fell asleep. 20 minutes later the baby's crying woke both women, Mio quickly went to fetch her children and brought them to the dining room where they immediately stopped crying. "How strange," said Mio, seeing that her children stopped crying from one second to the next. "Awal, my grandchildren. Let me hold them, daughter," cried Diana with hearts in her eyes and a huge smile. Mio approached her mother and carefully handed her her children, with whom Diana began to play. "Why is my Goku taking so long?" asked Mio with curiosity and also anxiety, so she went to the table and took the God pad to make a video call. "Hi darling," Goku greeted when he answered. "My love, why are you taking so long?" Mio asked, pouting. "I'm sorry, there were a lot of people, but they already helped me, and the pizzas will be ready in 10 minutes. "Don't worry, I'll come with teleportation," he replied, giving her a thumbs up. Well then I'll keep waiting for you, and by the way my mother came," Mio told her before turning the God pad and showing Diana playing with her children. "Mrs. Diana is at home," exclaimed the scion in surprise when he saw the goddess. The named looked at the God pad. "Goku, I told you to call me Diana or mother-in-law, we are family, you don't have to be formal," she said with a smile and then continue playing with her grandchildren. "Hee, I'm sorry," the scion on the other side of the screen apologized. "Well my love, I'll see you in a few minutes, I love you," Mio said, blowing him a kiss. "And I to you darling," Goku came to say before the video call was cut off. "Daughter, what name did you finally decide on?" Diana asked, referring to the babies. Mio sat next to them. "Oh right, I'm sorry, mother, well we decided on Gohan and Mio," the goddess of destruction replied. "Ha, what a coincidence, you know, before you were born I couldn't decide on your name and was choosing between Mio and Mio," she said to her daughter while laughing at the coincidence. Suddenly the babies started crying. "They're hungry," Diana commented, looking at her daughter. Mio sighed and began to unbutton her shirt to then take off her bra and look at her mother. "Pass them to me," she asked kindly. The sky blue-eyed woman handed her grandchildren to their mother, who began to breastfeed from Mio as if there were no tomorrow. "Why is Mio's tail a planned color and Gohan's brown?" Diana asked curiously. Mio looked at her children's cyan tails and then turned her gaze to her mother. "I don't know, I supposed it was because Mio took after me, just as I took after you, and since we have hair that is between white and silver, her tail came out the same color," the goddess of destruction replied, without giving it too much importance. Diana nodded with a hand on her chin as if what her daughter said made sense. "I see, maybe that's it, I mean, daughters of goddesses look identical to their mother and sons to their father," she commented. "Wait. Is there another goddess who had children? I thought we were the only ones," Mio said with surprise. "Yes, there's one more who, like you, fell in love with a mortal and they had a daughter. I think she must be 1,000,000 years younger than you," she replied to her daughter. "Ha, you make it sound like that's not many years," Mio said, laughing. "And Whis?" Diana asked with curiosity. Mio rolled her eyes. "He's training the warriors of this planet because of the news you gave us," she replied, not caring too much about the topic. Ha, I didn't think they would take that solution, although it's the best option, so they won't depend on the two of you," Diana replied with a mischievous smile. "Mom, what are you up to?" Mio asked curiously. Fu, I will be direct. I want to organize a meeting of destructive gods, angels and Kaioshin to introduce you to my grandchildren. After all that I want you to come to my universe for a while," Diana said with a slight smile. Suddenly Goku arrived, appearing with his fingers on his forehead. "You arrived just in time Goku," Diana commented. The scion raised an eyebrow with a bit of confusion. "Did I miss something?" Mio looked at her partner. "Mom wants to introduce our children to the other universes, and then she wants us to spend some time in her universe," she said to the scion before laying their children on the sofa and buttoning her shirt. The three of them sat at the table. Goku took out a device that Diana had given him months ago, and about 20 pizzas came out of it. "Well?" Diana asked before taking a slice. Mio looked at Goku, indicating that she wanted to know his opinion. "With all due respect, why would we introduce our children to the other universes? And by the way, how do you even have a universe?" asked the scion seriously. Mio opened her eyes. She had overlooked this last part. As far as she knew, her mother, along with the royal guard, lived in the Mirai Palace. Fu, didn't I tell you? I myself created a universe for me and others for the other members of the guard, and from there we watch everything in the multiverse and the timelines," Diana replied with a small mischievous smile. "Wait. exclaimed Mio and Goku, their jaws dropping to the floor. What are you? Goku exclaimed in surprise when he heard his mother-in-law. Ho ho, I'm a life form called Diana, he replied with a smile. Haha, how funny, shouted Mio while crossing her arms. Fufufu, I also formed a team of 5 girls to keep my universe in order and to help me with other things as well. I called them the Universal Guardians, she commented before taking another piece. Mom, but how? Asked Mio, not understanding how she could accomplish those things, while Goku took the opportunity to eat since he noticed that his mother-in-law had already finished 3 pizzas in just a few minutes. Ah, daughter, it's a long story, but to sum it up, I would say that now I am like, the most powerful being that exists. And I can do anything you can imagine. Well, something like that, since I am only below Mirai-sama, who is an entity, she replied to her daughter. And now how am I supposed to surpass her? Mio thought with a bit of annoyance. Wow, you must have gone through some fatal training, right? Asked Goku, coming back from the kitchen with 3 sodas. Diana took one and began drinking it. You can't even imagine, I was the only one who completed it. None of the other guards could finish it, she said after finishing her drink. Then I accept your proposal, mother. I don't like the idea of the other destructive gods knowing our children, but I'm curious about your universe, Mio said with a small smile. Goku stood up. I can't wait to meet your Diana universe too. We could also continue our training there, he said the latter to Mio. Fufufu, yes, they can train and even in better conditions, plus I will take care of my grandchildren in the meantime, Diana told them while a smile formed on their faces. Well, in that case we should prepare the things we are going to take, Mio commented with a hand on her chin. Wait, said Diana as she stood up. Daughter, stand up too, she said to Mio since Goku was already standing. The goddess of destruction did as her mother asked. Before I forget, I will unlock your hidden potential so that when you train, you can make the most of your abilities, said Diana. Then she placed a hand on each of their chests. A few seconds later, it glowed for a moment. For a few seconds, Mio's eyes changed to a silver color and then returned to their natural red, while Goku's scion tail reappeared. Done! Exclaimed Diana with a small smile. Even now you've become a little stronger, she whispered softly. Goku and Mio felt different. They both looked at their hands, opening and closing their fists. My tail! I have my tail! Shouted Goku, filled with happiness and excitement as if he were a child. Darling, let's get our things ready, said Mio, taking Goku by the hand and heading to the room. Diana smiled as she watched them go. Goku, your power has increased 4 times, you are incredible. Mio, yours has increased 5 times, she whispered with a smile. Even in my time as a destroyer goddess, when Whis unlocked my hidden potential, my power only increased twice. Mio, will you ever surpass me someday? Ha! But what am I saying, she probably will, thought Diana with a slight smile. 20 minutes later, Goku and Mio left the room. And their things? Asked Diana, raising an eyebrow. Hee, I stored them in the device you gave me, Goku replied, smiling. Mio went to pick up her babies and then approached her mother. Will we take long? She asked curiously. It depends on how long the other gods take, Diana answered, scratching the back of her neck. Damn, exclaimed Mio. All set. I sent a message to Bulma letting her know we'll be gone for a while, said Goku, putting away his cell phone. Well done Goku, that news will stimulate others more to become stronger. Well, let's go to Xeno-sama's palace and then to my universe, Diana said while snapping her fingers and a portal appeared in front of them. Incredible! Goku exclaimed when he saw the portal. Shall we go? Diana asked as she set foot in the doorway. TSK, will they be fine without us? What if another villain appears? Mio wondered with a little doubt about the trip. Not bad. Come on. I'm sure that when we come back the others will have become very strong. Isn't that Mio? He said to the destructive goddess looking into her eyes. What am I worrying about? They are with Whis so their evolution will be very fast and they will be able to defeat anyone, she thought. Yes honey. They will surely be very strong, he told her with a smile while taking the Scion's hand and entering through the portal under the gaze of the leader of the royal guard. Fufufu, the plan to finish off the demon god is underway, whispered Diana, fully entering the portal.